We're going to be diving into the ZergLord versus Alexander, and if you're an older school viewer, you may be wondering, who is Alexander? Alexander got a name change this year. Alexander used to go by another name. We've casted him plenty times in the past. He used to go by Tiratuga. A Peruvian Protoss player. His name was a bit of a meme, but it looks like he's taking his name a little bit more seriously, and he has name changed here, and he has become the player in the bottom left-hand corner of the map of Inside and Out. We have our Peruvian Protoss representing Team Super. It is Alexander. Very proper, very royal even. You love to hear it. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Inside and Out, we have a player who is currently leading this series 1-0, the Brazilian Zerg representing Team Super. It is the TheZergLord. Oh boy. Here we go, the TheZergLord, one of the best Zerg players in the entire region, I would argue. One of the best in this tournament, but of course Cham has also signed up, so we cannot forget about Cham. Cham is an amazing player, and he's currently mid-series against a Master. But yeah, we'll see how this turns out here. Alexander, aka Tiratuga, is a great player in his own right, but he was on a very long hiatus. I don't know if you remember this, but he took a break from the game. I want to say November, December of last year through January and February. Like, he was much more inactive. Despite him peaking, I remember Tiratuga taking down Jim Rising. I want to say he took down the TheZergLord as well. Like, he was getting some really impressive results, specifically in PvZ. And then he disappeared. He took a break, a long extended break, but it's cool to see him back under a new name. And yeah, we'll see if he's still got it. We'll see if he can still compete with the best of the best. Of course, this was back in the era, this was back in the meta of SkyToss. For better or for worse, you could argue that Alexander did a really good job at abusing SkyToss. He was like a Zest connoisseur. He was doing really well at just turtling up on 4 bases and getting carriers out, essentially, and just rolling over his opponents. But that meta has come and gone. You know, now it's all about the hero style. You know, step aside Zest, it's Hero's time to shine. Hero's amazing, by the way. And he has really just led the way for Protoss players in current era, in current year. But does Alexander care? Is he going to adopt that meta? We'll find out, because he's going for a Stargate opener. And I know that there are some players in Latin America that, even though the meta has shifted to Blink Stalker play and more active styles, there's a lot of players that still are very fond of SkyToss, and they do that anyway. I'm thinking of Jim Rising when he plays Protoss. I'm thinking of Paco Mike as well. Paco Mike does do it from time to time. I have to wonder if Alexander's going to do the same. It isn't anywhere near as strong as it once was, but it's still viable. It's still possible. Oh, but this is our first tell. He's going for the Oracle first, not the Void Ray. So I kind of like where this is going. His Oracle's going to be looking to deal some damage. He should be going for a second Oracle behind this. And we'll keep an eye on the Stargate. We'll see if a third Oracle comes out as well. Meanwhile, first two adepts are here across the map. We're going to try and find some damage. We're going to scout his opponent, confirming that there is a third base, confirming the drone count at the natural. There are plenty of links here to defend, so Alexander isn't going to overcommit. If he did, he will lose his adepts. There we go, just checking his opponent, making sure nothing crazy is going on, keeping an eye on all those gases. And behind this, a second Oracle is on the way, and this is being scattered by the TheZergLord. The TheZergLord is now fully aware of the opener. He's fully aware that he has to be careful, and I would imagine get some spores. There we go, first spores on the way. He has his queens in position as well. 2 queens in the main, 2 queens at the natural. The third is exposed, but there's nothing to defend at the third. And Alexander, behind the second Oracle, he goes for a Twilight Council. Oh boy. Now, there are a couple of things that are going on here. One is that Alexander didn't go for a third Oracle. He didn't open up triple Oracle, only double. And this can be a little bit risky This means that you will not have, oh my god. As a drone transfer gets called out here, 2 drones get picked off. Oh my god, but only 2, oh no! The target fired, not quite there. Both oracles barely survive, they barely get out in time. But because there was no 3rd oracle, that means that this 3rd was vulnerable to a Ling run by. Usually as these 2 oracles are being active, the 3rd oracle is here at home to defend, use his pulsar beam and keep this 3rd alive. Thankfully for Alexander, the ZergLord was droning, so he wasn't being aggressive, so Alexander kind of gets away with it. Oof, as he almost loses another oracle. And from here he's transitioning into Blink Stalkers and +1, but also a Robo. So this is Hero-esque. Hero usually delays his Robo and he usually delays his additional gases as well. But Alexander is kind of taking his own spin to it. We'll see how much further he will diverge. Meanwhile, Lair is finishing up here for the ZergLord. The ZergLord hasn't really invested in too much tech. He's taking all of his gases, and here we go. He's going to be going for a more roach-heavy composition. Interesting. Typically against Mass Blink Stalker, roaches are there to support, but lings are really what helps deal with it. The ZergLord is approaching this in a bit of a different way. It can still work, obviously, but again, not what we usually see. And to be fair, Alexander isn't quite going into Blink Stalkers the way we usually see either. You know, here we go. The first wave of Stalkers are going to be out on the map already. Charge is on the way behind this as Alexander takes a 4th base. 5th would have been crazy. And these Stalkers aren't looking to do much. They're looking to clear up some creep. Oh, maybe pick off a couple of queens. Oh, they have to be careful not to overextend. Nice baits here by the ZergLord. 2 stasis traps get triggered by only 2 lings. Now the roaches are coming out. We have 2 more stasis traps behind this, though. Oh my god, both of them get triggered by 1 roach. And now the ZergLord, he can just push in. Uh-oh. Alexander, mate, you gotta get out of here. You don't want to overstay your welcome. It was really cool the way that he was supporting his Stalkers here with his oracles, and that's to help make sure that you don't get surrounded by a mass amount of lings. But the ZergLord, again, he isn't going for lings. The ZergLord is going for a much more committed roach push. I say committed roach push because the Madman has joined up to 66 workers, and I don't think he intends to go much further than 66 drones. Yeah, roaches are all we need. +1 range is about to finish up. The ZergLord has 6 more overlords on the way. He is looking to max out on nothing but roaches and push out across the map. Alexander, I don't know if he's really recognized this. His bases at home are pretty undefended. Where are the shield batteries? Where are the cannons? Now they're being thrown down. To be fair, we have a little bit of droning going on here from the ZergLord, so I'm a little bit torn about how aggressive he wants to be. +2 range is now on the way. But again, like, that supply is insane. Meanwhile, the Stalkers are looking to get a kill in this 4th base, and it looks like they will. The ZergLord, a little bit slow to respond. Hatchery goes down, and I'm waiting here. I'm like, yo, the ZergLord, you're kind of missing your timing. +1 finished a while ago. Wants to try to catch his army, but now it's a little bit too late because Alexander, he has a War Prism. He has charge. He is looking to force the ZergLord back home. We'll see if he will. The ZergLord wants to fight. He's maxed out on Roach Ravager. A bit of a Zealot run by is going to hit his 3rd base. And the ZergLord, he has to make a choice. He's not turning around. He's going across the map. And how many bases can he get? Because we have more Zealots in the main. Oh god, and the Stalkers, we have a full base trade! Ah! The ZergLord is going to get his 3rd. He may lose his own in the process. His reinforcements are slowing down those Stalkers, and there we go. He's splitting up his army. He's going to be able to take down the 4th base towards the bottom right. At the same time, he wants to break in towards the natural as well. Stalkers aren't the most ideal unit when it comes to killing buildings, so it's going to take a while for the Stalkers to really do too much here. They blink on forward. Reinforcements, oh, they're being move commanded though. There we go. And the ZergLord turns around. I don't know if I like this. I would have liked him to have broken the natural and killed these 2 disruptors first. Kill these 2 robos, I should say. Because he's turning around now, Alexander is going to have an answer to these roaches. Oh boy. He's still going to be losing a lot in the process. The Zealots were left a little bit idle here in the main base as well. Forces a recall, and I think that the ZergLord is still looking pretty good here. He doesn't have the most sophisticated army, he just has Mass Roach Ravager. It's not ideal. Disruptors can make up for that. Disruptors can, you know, make up for a 20 supply deficit. What about a 70 supply deficit? Oh god. I'm really concerned here for Alexander, but how good are the Novas going to be? We don't want to waste them. No, the Disruptor's leading the charge. The first Nova goes off, will connect with 3 Roaches. The second one will connect with so many Ravagers, though. But we only had 2 Disruptors, and Alexander has to back the hell up. Oh, God. Meanwhile, he's trying to get a ninja base up towards the top left-hand corner of the map, but it gets seen. It gets scattered. Worker counts are pretty even, but Alexander, he's oversaturated. He's long distance mining. He needs another base, and he's just not going to get it. The Disruptors get caught out. No. Oh my god. Novas are as juicy as they can be. But they can only be so juicy. Oh my god. They can only be so juicy because even though they had amazing connections, there's just not much behind this. Roach is taking down the Nexus towards the top left. Another base going down here as well. More Novas going off. Oh my god. Remember how I said that the Novas weren't going to be enough? Well, maybe they are, because look at the supplies. Alexander has a bit of a lead here. He still has his Disruptors alive. He's all in now, essentially. He's trying to get his third base up and running, but the ZergLord is not going to let that happen. Oh, Disruptors barely get saved in the end. Oh, God. And is he doing this? Alexander, has he broken through? I think he has. There are too many Stalkers here. This third base is going to go down. We have the target fire. The Ravager falls as well. Nova goes off. Oh, but both Disruptors get focused down just in time. The boys are being pulled. The base survives. We need queens, Papi. We need something that shoots up. With the boys being pulled, it looks like the ZergLord is going to hold. The queen comes out. If those Disruptors weren't killed, I do think that Alexander maybe could have had enough momentum to get not just this third base, but maybe even another base. But thankfully for the ZergLord, he expanded towards the left-hand side as well. He's reclaiming the base that he just lost. Like, he's still okay. He still has better mining than Alexander. Alexander, who's stuck on 2 bases and doesn't have that many mineral patches. The hell are we watching? Oh my god. Here we go, across the map, Oracle trying to find something. Where the hell did this Oracle come from? I didn't even know. Oh my god, it's the Oracle from the beginning of the game, actually. I was looking to find some damage. Oh, the whole position isn't quite where it needs to be. ZergLord once again pushing out across map, looking for a base that doesn't exist. He's gonna find some damage. Gets a shield battery, I guess. The thing is, like, I want to say that the ZergLord is ahead, and he is, but at the same time, Alexander has 4 Disruptors. It's 4. He can fight this. What he's really lacking is a War Prism. Like, we need something to make sure that these Disruptors survive. Like, we can't afford to keep replacing them. Alexander can't afford to keep replacing them. Alright, here we go. Nova goes off. Oh, I think it's a couple of Roaches. Second one whiffs as well. But, you know, he's zoning away the ZergLord, forcing the ZergLord to respect his opponent. Forces a bit of a recall as the ZergLord. That was just a distraction. The main force, 4 roaches, they got into the natural, got 3 probes, and every single probe matters right now when we're at such a low econ situation. See him in the chat. See Tabo in the chat, tira tu. See, papi, see. But here we go. We see a mass around. Lings are coming in as well. Disruptor shots are not going to be good enough because the Lings, they get on top of the disruptors. And this is going to be all she wrote. The Lings are too much. They're exactly what the ZergLord needed in the end. They get full surrounds on everything here. There is no way out. GG gets called, and the ZergLord fights back. He takes the series 2-0. Wow, GG, well played. And congratulations, the ZergLord. He moves on to the semi-finals. My condolences to Alexander, my condolences to Tiratuga, but he played really well, to be honest. We ended up in a weird base trade, but even in that weird base trade, I do think that Alexander was doing really well. It was really cool to see him transition into disruptors. Oh boy. Yeah, very impressive play, very impressive.